into my whatever tiny hole.
That's what the hooker said too, by the way.
Denise and Marlo, you are now listening to the Drunken Monks podcast.
Let's make it clap.
Good evening, Denise.
Hey, Marlo.
I'm just gonna bypass it.
How
I'm
you
just
doing?
gonna bypass it. Good evening, Dad.
How you doing?
I'm doing grand.
All right.
I'm doing grand. It's middle of the year, almost half the year proper. I think a day away or something like that. And I can't complain, even though the heat is killing man still.
Yeah, man. Like it was super hot. Then things seemed to normalize, and now we're back at the center of hell again.
The problem was the rain. That little moment of rain in between is what brought back whatever humidity that was trying to work itself out.
True.
And now all of a sudden we're back in hell, as you said.
Yeah, but we can't forget that it's hurricane season. So yeah.
Yeah. Hey, to all of our friends to the north, because we do get weird warnings every now and again. But definitely to all our friends, you're always in our thoughts, and be safe and prepare. Please
prepare. Stay put. Don't do stupid shit.
Yeah.
And stock up on crackers, oats. What was the other cereal?
Shout outs to Melissa, man. Jeez. But yeah. Hey, guys. My name is Marla Brown.
Denise Faber.
We are
the Drunken Monks.
Welcome back, guys.
Hey, do you know what we're drinking today?
As if we have to ask.
See, but today
okay.
We're on the mango. Annabay.
One of the many flavors from our wonderful and illustrious sponsor, Annabay Club. They got rums, they got all the rums, and they got some sweet rums. And one of the sweeter rums that they got is what we're drinking on here.
See,
this evening
mango,
is
nice
the mango.
To mix.
Yeah, man.
We're mixing it with OJ.
No, but just to run it out, they got a tamarind, they got the pineapple, they got a coconut, they got the mango, and I think it was one more that I'm missing that maybe the staff will tell me about like a little bit later. But the tamarind one is interesting, is really good. It's not like again, none of them are sweet.
Yeah.
But that one is somehow they've gotten the tart right. Like,
all right.
Like the sour, like all
right.
So and in a rum no less. So all you gotta do is just add like maybe like a soda water, like or whatever, and you're done start already. So
yep, cool.
Yeah, but anyway, thanks to Annabay, thanks to everybody that works in the team. Thanks for the rum locker for us for this season. And shall we get to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Cheers, man.
Salud.
Cheers. All right.
And also shout out to Marlo and his wife. Your eldest son just graduated. Mm-hmm. So congrats, Daddy-O. Of course, congrats, kid. But I know for parents.
Proud of him.
Running behind the kids, do your homework, do this, do that. Dus just offering an encouraging environment, all die shit. Je hebt het goed gedaan, Marlo.
No, but it's not just me. It was me. It was everybody like around him. And believe it or not, no matter how much we cuss and fight, but shout out to like his mother as well.
Shout out, baby mama.
Natasha. So this one is for you. Yeah? I mean, you did cause me to drink, but that's what... Jokes.
All right, let's get into it before things get out of hand.
You've been keeping up with the news?
No, absolutely not.
You've been keeping up with the news? Unfortunately, I do. And in keeping up... Oh boy. This is the season of doom and gloom, man.
Yeah, man.
This is the season of doom and gloom. With this season, like what's going on? Saw something that broke my heart this morning. That I, honest to God, I don't know what to do with, but I'll try to break it down as best I can, as quickly as I can, and then we'll have a little discussion about it, right? So South Africa is in a bad way, in a really, really, really bad way. South Africa, the land of the great Nelson Mandela, can't seem to get it together, and they're about 2 years away from being a failed state in certain regards. They got electricity problems, so like energy problems, where they got reports of like rolling blackouts where they have to load shed up to 16 hours a day now, and they have no way out. They are mostly reliant upon coal. And the pollution that comes from that is beyond toxic.
But why are they... Okay, blackouts, I understand, right. Lastig. Wind, sun, alternative forms of energy.
See, but here's where the problem comes. You would need to have at least some form of leadership to do that. The ruling party which again, this is why my heart breaks, because it was Brother Nelson's party, the ANC. They've been in power from like ever since, right? And God bless that Mandela and his crowd and everything brought the place out of the darkness when it came to apartheid. But right after Mandela came Jacob Zuma, and this is oh, and by the way, this is the power of comedy and the power of the internet. I had no idea who Jacob Zuma was up until I saw Trevor Noah.
Oh yeah.
And Trevor Noah, I
Yep.
saw like his stand up or whatever, and he made a lot of jokes about Jacob Zuma. So then is when I went to Google, like, who the fuck is,
Yeah.
And turns out, yeah, this man is just the worst, and the worst type of crony capitalist like you could figure out. You check what I mean, and him, one way with the government and all his camp, and the Gupta brothers, who was over the energy company, the nationalized like energy company, like Eskom.
Yeah.
They basically gutted the whole place. They basically ran out all of the money. I have a link that I will put into the description, the same news clip I saw. But yeah, just that combined with everything else. So the corruption one way.
But wait a minute, because okay, Suma and his cronies, the Gupta brothers,
Right.
they basically sucked the energy company dry. But
And
then
the country.
and country, but then I'm always wondering, because now we're specifying it and we're singling them out, maar dan denk je, okay, where is the raad van bestuur? I don't know, advisory, not advisory,
No, but
every company, like big companies, state companies or semi-state companies have a raad van commissarissen of een toezichtsboard,
Yeah,
people who keep things in check.
But that's kind of the point.
Where is your parliament?
The corruption was so widespread and so baked in that these people were also part of the problem. That all these people, so up and down, left and right, of course, like you and I know from our own experiences too, like as well, working with instances with different type of governments or whatnot, that a man at the top cannot do the job by himself. He needs the secretary, his lieutenant. They need their team, and if everybody's in on the grift, then all hell is breaking loose. But I say this because for me, the conversation started for me when my boy Bussard called me this morning, and he asked me a random question. We usually talk and ask each other like random questions, just like I like to ask you like sometimes as well. And what it was is that he asked me, do I find that there's people that we don't revere as much anymore? I said, but how you mean? Like when we were younger, there are people that you looked up to, people that you generally both inside your community and on TV and whatnot. So, and that put me to mind in combination with the report of Nelson Mandela.
All right.
This man was a superhero to me. This man, and again, nobody's perfect, because afterwards, and especially like after his terms as, I think it was as the president, right? Because sometimes I get that kind of mixed up. But as his terms as the president came to an end, and he was still a very much like elder statesman and a person to be spoken to and that type of thing. It came out that he wasn't perfect. Okay, fine. But Jesus Christ, what this man has done, and everybody that he inspired to do when it came to apartheid, to break such a institutionalized system of morality, and people genuinely feel like they're not doing wrong. And again, folks, if y'all don't know what apartheid is, just please Google it. Like, it's too long to fucking mention it. But for real, like for what him and his freedom fighters did, through diplomacy, through civil disobedience, through organizing, through just keeping the headwind, like making sure that the headwind doesn't stop you. So for 20, 30 years on, like he was in jail, maybe 24 years or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Right. So to keep the faith throughout all of that, and to keep organizing while in jail, and to keep things pushing while in jail, whereas he could have died at any moment if somebody had decided that he was too much of a nuisance or something like that. All that shit, like, and to still come out clean on the other side, and to become the places, like top man, the president, black man, like not 4 years after like apartheid broke. Yeah. That for me was like a hell of a moment. That for me, that was in my awakening of like Malcolm X and all that shit, and Marcus Garvey, and starting to read and all that stuff, and to see somebody living do that.
Yeah.
And that gave me hope. Like, holy shit. Like, before I knew what Wakanda was, I thought that maybe South Africa could be Wakanda. You know what I mean? And now to see it come to this, like, it brings me to mind. And that was the thing that I said to Bus in our conversation is like, you have heroes, yes, but we're drowning in a sea of mediocrity. And a lot of people, be it by choice or lack of choice, they just are mediocre. They don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to challenge. They don't want to talk. They don't want to lose their place in life. They don't want to do a lot of things. Jacob Zuma is one of the most mediocre motherfuckers that you'll ever find. And he was in the circle with Mandela. That's how we got there.
Yeah.
So I mean to say, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like yeah, all right. So I'm done crying now.
No, but I'm thinking about what you said about, okay, he was a mediocre dude. And I think we're surrounded. If we look at like our own politics, I won't name names, but mediocre at best. Yeah. If you look at Rutte, mediocre. If you look at Biden, mediocre. I mean, you can go on like, okay, now we're looking at politicians.
Right.
All of them are mediocre. And then you said about Zuma, he was in the circle of Mandela.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if this is not, if it's just not the system. So it doesn't matter if you're gonna have another revolutionary. The system
is
dwingt?
built. Yeah, like it's built
because you need to keep the, well, not need, but the powers at the people in power that we don't know, that we don't see, but that are there. They want to stay where they are, very comfortable.
So.
And if and they need certain people, certain structure to be able to maintain that power, because nobody wants to give up power. Because usually, if you give up power. Usually, if for somebody else to gain power, let me put it like that, you have to give up a little bit of yours if you are the powerful. And who wants to give up power?
This
Nobody. So I'm wondering, is it even possible to, if we, in either fall, if we stick to the realm of politics, is it even possible to not be mediocre? Because people have to put you in place, people have to keep you in place, people have to finance things. Like, there are always strings attached.
I would see, maybe I'm a romantic.
Probably.
But I take a long view of history, or I try to learn as much from all history, not just, 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago. A meritocracy worked like a motherfucker at one point. That, and wait a minute, that was Genghis Khan. That was the Golden Horde. Genghis Khan became so powerful because he strictly and rigidly enforced like a meritocracy, like of a kind. And so it's not who you are, it's not where you're from or whatnot. Can you do the job? And can you do the job well and competently and whatnot? And what culture that he put into his generals and lieutenants and captains, they further enforced, because they too were like, before like Genghis Khan, certain ones of his like top brass would have made it to that, because they were lesser born or lesser class or Vedic fail. And he rose them up and said, listen, I don't care who you are, do the job well. If I can teach you a job and you can do the job well, or you can, even stronger, teach me something, you deserve that spot. And that's it. It was rigidly enforced. The Golden Horde was so bad that it conquered all of Asia and a little bit of like Europe and a little bit of India and all that shit. Like, dog, we have had templates in the past that prove that these things can work. The problem is the will. The problem is the willingness to want to do it. One of the things that was also said in that long fucking conversation between me and Bus was like, accountability will never happen because we all want our chance to skate free when it comes. You understand what I mean? So me as a secretary to whoever will never blow the whistle, call to accounts, do whatever, give a report, because when I need to embezzle 1,000, or when I need to take a 2-month vacation and whatnot, I don't want nobody telling me shit.
Yeah.
And we all have that. We all have that point of, I ain't saying nothing because when it's my turn, then my turn gonna come and nobody ain't gonna say shit like either. It's something that Caribbean people enjoy. Like, you know what I mean? Like you know, like
I
if
don't
you
know if we enjoy it, but is it not almost a way of life? Is it not almost like a culture?
no, but I mean, but that's why I say that we enjoy it like a bit. Like I know for a fact that when like up until 10 had happened and everything else went and so we had enjoyed like almost like a tax-free existence like down these parts. Nobody was collecting taxes, nobody was watching
Imagine.
taxes. Yo, they had some folks that didn't even know that certain tax brackets or certain taxes had exist. At least this happened on stage. I don't know about nobody else, but I could tell you that they had man that the tax office came down strong on because it was mandated from above. Yo, where are the books for these? Where are the years for these? Waar zijn de inningen for days of strike of the waiting veel?
Yeah.
You can't account for it, so then hey, yo, partner, this 10,000 or this 30,000, yo, try to hold that, and that's what it got to come to. You check one man. We have enjoyed lackadociousness for so long. We as a people, we as black folk or whatever, like it has been like as you said, it has become the norm, and to even put even a little bit of a rock in the boat to that, you are probably going to be shouted down from all sides. Everybody and their mama going to get vexed with you.
But if you notice, like, okay, let's go from the uitgangspunt that this, how do we call it? Well, this lackadociousness, laten we het even zo noemen, is part of the culture. There's not non-accountability. Laten we het even zo noemen. Let's say it's part of the culture.
Right.
Then, and you are advocating for meritocracy. Ik weet niet hoe-
Meritocracy. So based off of the merit of the person.
Maar how can you go from where we are now, culturally speaking, societally speaking, to a different system? That how can we move from these people who, I know, the rules don't come from me, or if I do this, ik ga er even tussendoor.
I will give you a bit of an anecdote, and it was a thing that also me and Buzz had laugh about a little bit. Laugh, kind of reminisce about the one. So before I came here, and shout outs to Goat Meat Gaming, both here and abroad. But before I came here, me and Buzz, we started a gaming group, like Goat Meat Gaming. But it was more
In Statia.
And it was more like a brotherhood type of vibe. It was all our old gaming friends that we came up with, and we reconnected with them, plus bringing up a new kind of generation. And in fact, not one but two, because we had teenagers one way, and we had like kids the other, right? And Buzz and I are a type that we ask forgiveness instead of begging for the ability to, zeg maar.
What?
We would rather say sorry than to consult with you. So we go forward.
Ik ga gewoon niet naar jou luisteren. Ik doe whatever. En dan zeg ik sorry.
No need that they do whatever, but it's more like, instead of going around in circles, debating, going around and so, even de knoop, even doorhakken, iets doen. And so, bijvoorbeeld, we don't ask somebody, we just, we grab the stuff, we pay for it first. We're like, we're going to have a barbecue. And just, people then, like, basically, that kind of show up. Everybody came, they had a good time, it was given with a free heart and whatnot. But Bus and I, not in a, like, finger-wagging way, but we put the facts down once everything was said and done. Oh, you eat? Yeah. Oh, you see the place? Yeah. Is it going to clean itself? Bye. Is it going to clean itself? No. So I'm going to pick up a broom, you're going to pick up a broom, you're going to pick up a broom. And so we start. We clean up the place, whatnot. Once that's done, boy, Dread, we tell you, and I like, here's a bit to our, like, adult friends. Boy, Dread, but it was good, right? Yeah, man, it was good, right? Yeah. Okay, so then what are we going to do? Boy, Dread, we want to do it again. Me and Buzz fronted the first time, partner. So what y'all gonna do? Boy, don't worry, Dread, I'm gonna bring out this and that. So instead of like preaching, you show through action. Like that was the thing, and it was effective. Like throughout my whole life, like you can't preach to people. You cannot say, "Oh, we need accountability and with this and that and that." And especially if the fingers start to wag, ain't nobody gonna listen to you. But if you put yourself with the people, and you start very much in your circle as best as you can, with your basketball team, with your hiking friends, with your book club, with your whatever, hell, with your woman, with your man, if you're fucking somebody. You could pull on the air, yo, you know that ain't right. You know, like, yo, Dred, like, you was wrong to your child, say sorry. Your partner, you know, like, you take time off of work and you come see me, but that ain't right. Get him back. You know, like that type of thing. You have the influence within you, like everyone does.
Yeah.
But don't preach, just do. Just don't, and do and explain. Do that, hopefully, with a little bit of humor. Hopefully with a little bit of, you know, like a little bit of sensitivity. You might see some shit. Is what I'm thinking. Your last thoughts.
No, my last thoughts are gonna start a whole new discussion. So maybe.
So then, okay, so then let's hold that one for the next one then. Or you want to jump on something else?
Yeah, but maybe, I think we discussed this already about this meritocracy that I'm like, or that when you were talking and then we veered off, but the only thing I was thinking, yes, in theory, good idea. But practically speaking, we are not all equal. We don't have equal opportunities from the get-go. So how fair is a meritocracy? Well, meritocracy is inderdaad your merit. Like, how good are you? How capable are you? Yeah. Your contribution determines your standing in the society. Laten we het even makkelijk zeggen, right?
Right.
Maar listen, I grew up in a comfortable home with parents who were there. I was afforded all the opportunities to develop, both socially, academically.
You were afforded all opportunities.
See, basically.
Right.
Now we have a partner, let's not call it a neighborhood because then we're going to stigmatize, but who was raised by a single mom. Yeah, helaas, we're going to down with patriarchy. But by a single mom who had 3 jobs, so who was rarely home, who had to raise him, who the TV raised this girl or boy. Yeah. There were no books around, so couldn't really, you know, develop in that way. Like heleboel minpuntjes. Yeah. Dus hoe eerlijk is het dan when I come up with my 2 university degrees and this person struggled to even finish MAVO, terwijl intellectually wise, where the other one is way more capable maybe than me.
Yeah, but you see, but listen, but one of my favorite things in human resource management is working against dyslexia because of how wrong a lot of people get it. I'm not saying that I get it right, but I am saying that a lot of times the same biases that you have in doen en laten van how we are now, they translate to biases within those type of things. So, but like you even had a thing of like if a CV has a 2 Spanish name, like, you know, like certain people just like skip over it or whatever the fuck, right? So like that type of shit. Within everything is not just within corporations, but within everything you got working in selection, right? You need to choose a person for a job, for a thing, or whatever. At that point, you need to be able to look at anybody and just be able to detach from your biases, Ahmar. Hard work, I freely admit. But for that to work, for that, like, you know, like that, hoe scheef like that is, you would have to start somewhere. And the starting somewhere is in anybody that I choose, I gotta give them a chance at least. I have to give them
but if you're in a meritocracy, I don't see the merit in you, you do not get the chance. Kijk, when coming up, I was able, like studying bijvoorbeeld, I was able to do a lot of volunteer work. Right. Through my volunteerism, I gained a lot of experience in many different areas. I made a network, connections, van alles. Okay?
Same too, by the way.
But the person who was not afforded this chance, met evenveel of, or even more capable intellectually than I, could not do the volunteer work because I had to work in the supermarket to be able to pay rent at home.
Right.
Dan ik nu, I'm going to apply by you. En denk je, wow, she was for president here. She was secretary there, treasurer here. Oh, she did this, she did that. Oh, yeah, boom, hired. The other one only has Centrum Supermarket, cashier.
But wait a minute. The caveat that I forgot to put with your point is that it's not going to be fixed to 1, 2, 3. It's over generations. It's over, like, you got to, like, mender the gap of inequality.
Okay, all right, now we're talking.
Right? You
Yeah.
got to mender the gap of... And if you're governing it in a particular way, that you have to make sure that you have an eye on the meritocracy, but you also have an eye on the tools that help support it, zeg maar. So bijvoorbeeld, education for all is one of them. You had just explained it. Like, you were afforded certain things and whatnot. Social vangnet in particular ways. There's a socialism that is necessary to get that going, zeg maar. Once it's going, then we see from there.
Yeah.
But there's a certain amount of like, you got to bring up the ones that are at the bottom, at the very least, to even get a chance to sniff at what this could be. Now, you made a wide example, you with your 2 PhDs versus homeboy with just like his Mavo, like, or whatever. But I would dare posit to you that within Werving and Telexia, and this is why you also got this thing as a trial period, do you mesh with the team? You could be a superstar.
Good
but
point.
you could also be a bitch. Like, you could also be, and I mean it in the exact wording that it means. I'm not, I'm not just flinging it around. You could be the worst person ever that actually kills the productivity because you've killed the morale within the team. Meanwhile, homeboy, he's eager to learn. He's eager to prove. He has the capacity. He just has to be taught on the job. Yeah. And he brings cupcakes for everyone, brightening everybody's day every day. And he's the one that becomes loved at the end of the year. This is where you have to try things. This is where you have to do things in a particular way. I genuinely think that I genuinely think that for us as people, a lot of the biases in choosing whatever determines how we go, and we come back all the way around to a Jacob Zuma and those boys or whatnot, or to a Biden and whatnot, and so on. So you would always hear, like, this is the term I always hated in modern politics, even to like Rutte, like, or whatnot. Yeah, he looks the part. Yeah, I could give a fuck if he looks the part. Like, I understand that people might not got time to be as informed as I am, but I could give a fuck if he looks the part. What are his policies? What is his track record? Does he have a proven track record of handling things for my like corner of the country, like, or whatever? Like, I hate that term. Yeah. And the only way that you're gonna get around that, to me, is, again, you need a certain amount of honesty, openness, a little bit of humor to be able to even to be at yourself, because accountability is not just for those that you want to have done. You gotta keep yourself accountable. You check what I mean? When that happens, if that happens, I know I'm trying. I know people around me. Again, shout outs to Mel and to the PFP, like, I want them. So I would love to see a world where it's more growing, but I know it's very keen, and I just got to do my part and start with me, and that's it.
Wow, world peace.
World peace, man.
I'm going to take accountability for my empty glass, and we'll be right back. Lieve kijkers en luisteraars, we zijn weer terug. We're back!
You sure you never worked in a sex line back in Nederland, Dread? Because
No,
Jesus
but
Christ!
right now, with the way the economy is going, I'm like really considering it.
No, dude. Sex line is played out, dude. OnlyFans.
Oh, nee, but
OnlyFans,
OnlyFans, I have to be seen. I just want to talk.
Dude, you can just show your feet.
Okay, boom.
You can just show your feet and just
Good.
rub shit over your feet. Trust, there's somebody willing to pay for that. Trust.
All right.
Trust me.
So look for your OnlyFans Curasolinian feet.
The one thing though, whatever bunions you got or whatever, like.
But that could
the
be.
little bumps you gotta work off though, Dread. Like they gotta be manicured.
I
That's
want to
one
say
thing.
somebody could have a fetish for imperfect feet.
Glad.
There is iets voor iedereen.
Oh
All
man.
right, Marlo, you filled up again?
Yes, ma'am.
You
Yes,
good?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, good also.
Mango rum, and I gotta admit, this is the baddest one I've tasted off of like Annabay yet. This one is woo.
It's good.
Smooth as a nun's
Smooth
behind.
as a silk.
Well, yeah, maybe that too. Name 'em.
But no, let's get into it.
Yeah, man.
So, I mean, we're like, is this een beetje oud news? And this is maybe everybody's been talking about it already. But the submersive nonsense Titan thing.
The submersible is what you're talking about.
See.
Like ocean. Like I forget the name of
Is it
the
not-
company, but it's Ocean Care or like Ocean Eats of weet ik veel. And,
So, maar, okay, something, the thing got imploded a hill
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah.
Any thoughts? What?
Listen, my thoughts seems to be very much in tandem with the rest of the world. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. That's all it is, man. How in the fuck? Okay, let's just take it from, and trust, we're not celebrating anybody dying unnecessarily, because no matter rich nor poor or whatever, but anybody dying unnecessarily is a thing to be avoided. We have all the things in the world to be able to prevent death, and so thusly any death that's unnecessary is wrong. That being said, these niggas was looking for death. These
I
niggas
don't
was looking
know.
for death. Are you kidding me?
I don't know.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No,
did you,
I'm serious.
How much of the story did you check?
I only heard there was like a Pakistani billionaire who went with his son. The auntie said the son didn't want to go. Then the mom said, I gave up my seat. And they went. And the thing, what I know is inderdaad, the submersible was not checked. Hoe noem je dat? Not certified. It is niet, it has not...
It wasn't even certified. Like, it wasn't even...
it didn't go through any
within-
process of safety,
they kept it out of the routine of... okay, good.
Ja,
So
precies,
that part you know.
dat weet ik.
Okay.
Maar, zo dan inderdaad. And I read that the company, the owners, were pushing the limit. So eigenlijk, it was it is their experiment and they're taking people with them on their while experimenting. Is mijn interpretatie.
Okay.
Because they're still pushing the envelope. They're still exploring, the very deep sea, right?
Let's put a couple of facts on the table.
Okay.
First fact, the one that for me speaks volumes. Ironically enough, in a weird, coincidental kind of way,
Isn't it ironic?
the director of the movie Titanic,
Yeah, Cameron.
James Cameron, avid oceanographer,
But he went with them
no,
wanneer 5 keer of zo? Of 30 keer?
he never went with them. He has his own rig. He has his own thing. He has his own... Him and his people, they got their own thing that has gone through.
Oh, I thought he
all
went
of-
with them. Okay.
No. He took a look. He took one look at that sucker and he says, like, yo, this thing got structural problems, Dred. This device, this vessel, it has structural problems that you guys ain't addressing and whatnot. James Cameron, like him and his type, so the Jacques Cousteaus of the world. I mean, he's dead, but I mean, like his son and whatnot.
Yeah, his son is in the business.
Right. So these people
Came to Curacao even.
they have a healthy respect of what the sea means and everything else. When you're that deep, you're a swimmer, and I think you know about diving. The deeper you go, the more pressure you have, and so thusly, it is even in certain cases more. And I'd have to have somebody correct me if I'm wrong on this, but in certain cases, it's even more like crazy than space.
Yeah.
Like space is just the absence of anything, so things expand.
Yeah.
But pressure, like the pressure at the bottom of the sea, is wild. This is why nobody's ever gone down there really to talk about, because we haven't figured out the science for it yet. We figured out the science to go into space. We haven't figured out the science to go that deep, that far, that long. Right?
That's it.
Right? James Cameron took a look at the thing and said no. Right? A year ago, it was, I said a couple of years, but like in a previous thing, but a year ago, employees, basically 2 employees on separate occasions tried to ring the bell, as it were, and like, yo, the thing is not structurally sound. Different others, males have come out where the CEO was addressed point blank by others within the field and other engineers and whatnot. So you have a dangerous vehicle here. You can go this far, you can't go as far as you want to go. And the dude, the CEO, Scott, whatever his name is.
The one that died.
No.
The other one.
Wait,
But
there
there was someone high up in the company that was also in the thing.
Well, then okay. Well, then that
Rush.
part.
Someone Rush.
that
One was
part-
Rush and the other one was, I don't know. There were 2 guys.
No, but then like it wasn't Rush, but whoever homeboy was, and I'll try to put the mail up or whatnot, but it was very explicitly stated, sir, there are big structural issues that you must check. You must go through the procedure of like testing and stress testing and wait to fail. And the man wrote back, yeah, you guys just want to get in the way of innovation, and we are trying to innovate here, and they always want to keep us back and so like a very kind of a libertarian type of way of answering the thing.
Libertarian or arrogant? Well,
hey, certain people will tell you that they're
potato,
both,
right?
Exactly. Certain people will tell you like they're both the fucking same. But what it was is that so all these red flags are going up, right? Now, I'm not the brightest guy on the planet, but if I got that kind of money, if I could pop 250,000 on whatever, I'm still a coward like at heart. I refuse to go on roller coasters, for like example, right? Like no, but yeah, you know, jokes is jokes, but real is real. You know what I mean? Like I don't like to put my life in danger. So if I am going to put my life in danger, I have to be 100,000,000% sure that the life that I'm putting in danger, that where I'm going, is toch wel onderbouwd met iets, weet je? That's
yeah,
toch wel...
but that is exactly why I'm a little bit on the fence with this story. Because inderdaad, the memes wrote themselves and haha, hoo hoo hee ha. And like this, right the second that this news became public, I saw memes popping up.
Yeah, of course. Because no, but okay, let me put that one to bed.
Wacht. Before we start with the memes, let me finish this one.
Right,
okay.
Go ahead.
Kijk, and then you say, okay, if you pay this much money, blah, 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 moet je iets weten. But exactly that to me is the discussion, and I think is lost in the discussion. I wonder if the passengers, so the people who went gewoon for adventure, die niet the engineer, niet the guy from the company, niet the researcher, but let's say I only know about the commercial people were the Pakistani dude and his son, the Pakistani billionaire and his son.
Right.
I wonder if they actually were aware of the risk. Yeah, of course you sign a waiver. This is at your own risk. The company cannot be held liable. But we sign these things bij wijze van spreken every day. If I wonder this, how much can you put on the passengers? Because every time I go in a plane, ik heb geen idee. I'm thinking the plane is flying, or even if I get into my car, if I get in a bus, whatever. I'm thinking, let's go with the plane. The plane is flying.
Right.
The plane is transporting people who have paid to be transported from A to B. The plane must be good. The plane must be able to carry these people because you're paying money. There are procedures. They're following procedures. I don't know which safety procedures they're following. I know people are supposed to, the captain even is supposed to check before he takes off. He needs to check this, that, and the other. Right. I don't know if he's doing it. The mechanic is saying, the plane... It's even, laten we het nog extremer maken.
Like a flying
No, I don't have fear of flying.
All right, cool. Because hearing you say that is like, man, you do think of it a lot. You know what I mean?
No, I really don't. I don't.
Because
I,
folks don't even think of that far. Like, yo, let me just
well,
put a ticket, get on the seat,
I do.
go up, go down, bam, we done.
I
you know
do
what
check to see if there is a
Like a
swam
life
vest
vest.
under
Yeah,
my stool.
yeah.
That is what I check.
Me too.
But for the rest, and I check to see where the emergency exit is, but that's it.
There you
Maar
go.
I'm relying on a lot of ifs. I'm relying that the plane is technically sound.
Right.
Dus gewoon technisch goed gebouwd.
Right.
That the motor is running gewoon fine. That all the butts and nuts, weet het? Bolts and
nuts and bolts
are in place.
Right.
That there is enough fuel, that the fuel is voldoende kwaliteit. I'm just banking on 500 miljoen dingen to be in place correctly. Ik ga niet, en misschien even if I buy the ticket, I don't know, ik lees het niet. I just pay my money and I make sure that my name is properly and my passport number is properly. I don't go to check the little letters. Misschien staat er zelfs, maybe it says underneath, flying is at your own risk. I don't know. I didn't read the small print.
Right.
Ik stap gewoon in de vlieg. I pay my money. I get in the plane and I'm excited to go wherever the fuck I'm going.
Right.
Dus why is it different in this case? Yeah, it is deep sea diving. And wait. Yeah, it's deep sea.
I was about to say, Constance, you're about to answer your own question.
No, wait. It is deep sea, unexplored territory. But remember now, I'm a billionaire.
Yeah.
The world is my oyster, and I want to have something to brag about amongst my billionaire friends. Everything I got, they got.
No, but
Dit is iets nieuws.
But
Maar wait, het moment dat die man zegt, yes, come into, you're paying $250,000, come into my whatever tiny hole.
and that's what the hooker said too, by the way.
Well. And we're going under the sea. Under the sea. Maar nee, dus why should I then... I'm thinking, and I think the gemiddelde customer, the regular customer thinks, if I'm buying this, it is good enough. And it is not, I'm not paying $5, huh?
No, but I would, listen, I would love to get that rich to prove myself wrong. But, I mean, Jesus Christ, man, I don't care who you are. Life is life. Like, yours...
Yeah, but
like,
do I know that my life is at risk?
No, but this is...
Because if I get into a plane, I'm not thinking that my life is at risk.
And like I said, I would love to get that rich to prove myself wrong. Because fuck me if that ain't a detachedness. That is a detachedness that I can't even begin to fathom. Like, I could understand rich people. Hell, I have bougie friends that don't know how much corned beef costs. You understand what I mean? Because they never had to fuck with corned beef. They never had
I'm a bougie friend, apparently.
Yeah, but this is my point. Like, I got bougie friends that don't know how much corned beef costs. So I could fuck with it. Like I understand there's a disconnect, right? You don't have to, or my servants get that, or my housekeeper gets that. Okay, fine. But there's a natural imperative. If you hold a gun to my head, I don't care how much fucking money I got, I'm gonna piss my pants. You check what I mean? If you got me on the gun point from a Leicester, this, that, and the third, or you're mad at me or whatever, it doesn't matter how much money you got, your life is at stake. And so for me, in that same vein of like, I can die. Just that fact alone.
Yeah, but that is the thing. You don't
die.
No, you don't know that you can die.
You don't know that you can die?
But kijk, I'm getting in a plane, I'm getting on a bus, I'm getting in my car. I can die. Maar that's not in my mind.
No, but this is look. My thing is like that disconnect of self-preservation goes to simple things for me by Voorbeeld. Hygiene would be one of them. You take a shit, you gotta wipe your ass. You get dirty, you gotta take a shower. You do whatever, so you could at least acknowledge that. So for me, in acknowledging that, you can acknowledge why you need to do that. You don't get good hygiene, you got a bigger risk of infection, you got a bigger risk of sickness, you got a bigger risk which can result in death. If you have a G6 or wait till as a private plane, you want to have the best pilot, you want to have the best thing. Why? Because if something goes wrong, you can die. You want to have the best phone, the best this, the best access, whatever. If you end up in the mountains with said plane, you can die. You understand what I mean? So all these
Marlo,
things.
who thinks like that?
Wow.
I don't think like that.
You don't think like that, man?
I don't think with every action I take, oh my God, I can die.
Listen, it's not like, okay, look.
That is exactly.
I am not Piglet, y'all. Wait, hold on.
Yes, he is.
I'm not like shaking and kind of neurotic, but it's more like I am very aware of my own mortality. And in being aware, I would take a... And that was one of the memes, by the way.
That's why.
No, but that was one of the memes... Wait, fuck yourself. Love, but that was one of the memes that was prevalent as well in the dread. Like, yo, partner, you ain't never gonna see no black man down there, partner. Because they know what mortality is.
No, they don't swim. That's why. They cannot swim.
And they don't swim because they could dead. What are you talking about, Dread? Yo... For real, no, but...
Okay, wait. If something funny came into my mind, they don't swim because they know they're gone dead. There were two hammerheads, like sharks, spotted on Like there's a movie of like a video clip of them on the social media. Mm-hmm. They were spotted in the and sea, like at Lagoon, is on the west side of the island, where you usually don't see sharks, and they came very close to the coast, where you usually also don't see them. And then in the movie, I only saw white people in the water. I mean, even to your point, Mar. Okay, continue.
No, they don't have a healthy respect for what could. You see, but that Lord help me that. Look. We always, like, you and I have been leaning a lot into race this season.
Yeah, this is a season of race, gloom and doom.
And like the last season at towards the end, we would lean a lot into it too. But I'm going to say this much, right? Really and truly, there is a comfort that you can derive out of life that comes with prosperity. So I could give you that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
And just so happens, in the world that we live in, a lot of that prosperity seems to have a correlation with how light you be. Right? We could say that too, like, as well. Fine.
Unless you're a Pakistani billionaire.
But I will say this much. Is like, I would have to have somebody explain to me, again, and this is why this story is so wild to me, because that amount of disconnect, like, I get there's disconnect. I'm not taking that away, but literally the depth of the sea amount of disconnect, like, pussy clap. What the fuck are you doing down there, bro?
Wait. Did this submarine go with guests previously?
Submersible, yes it did.
Yeah, maar kijk, dus that is the whole thing.
No, but it takes one to go wrong.
Yeah, maar you never think it's gonna be you.
All the way back
and that's
around.
not disconnect. That's human nature.
All the way back around, right? You were talking about the plane and all the ifs, right? Here's the one if that has been proven right. All those ifs worked tanto care.
Yeah.
Like, how many times? Since 1924.
See, that's why I'm asking you, were people in the thing before?
People were in the thing before, but it wasn't a peer-reviewed, like, 700 different things. It was like,
you need to do it 700 times before you can have the peer review of 700 times.
But this is other submersibles have proven with science and through rigorous testing and checking and accountability. There's that word again. That the others work. The one from James Cameron worked.
If the others work, why wouldn't it? Like, no, maar kijk, I think we're putting too much on the accountability and the research and the this and then that's just, kijk. During COVID, like in Curacao, we also have a submersible. Right. And it's been used, it is being used usually for research purposes. Right. It goes down, Baporki Bra, so by Sea Aquarium, it goes down, and you go, I don't know how deep you go, not as deep as the Titan.
Not even close. Not even fucking close, but anyway,
but it's deep. It is real deep. Like, usually, people don't go there, right? And during COVID, because now Curacao was locked, we were on lockdown, the researchers and tourists that usually go in the submersible, didn't come. So they had a oxy, like a special for local people. You could go in a submarine, and I was actually contemplating it. I was just afraid that my fat ass wouldn't fit. But
I gotta lose like about 4 pounds before I can sit in
I
this
have my
motherfucker.
own issue where that is concerned.
Right.
But I was really contemplating it because I thought this is a once in a lifetime opportunity and experience.
Right.
I didn't think hey, let me do research how safe it is. I know that thing is there. I know researchers go in it all the time. I don't know if people went in it 25 times, 70 times, or 700 times. I just thought the thing is there. It goes up and down. Now they don't have clients. They're saying you can go into the thing for 50% off. Let's go. So this could have very well been the case with this billionaire.
But okay, but all right, but there's a difference between going down, arguably, just a bit versus going down to one of the deepest fucking parts of the planet.
If you tell me this has been done before, it always goes well. Ik zeg, sign me up.
I'm gonna get like a random dude to like meet you in a bar.
Down with the patriarchy.
And like start to hit on you, and then when you start to get vexed, he said, "Listen, this has been done before. Like nobody's got."
I will say that.
Like legit, like yo, don't worry about it, baby. Listen, this has been done before. This is nah, but look. Jokes aside. It's like that 250 case really hit me in the wrong place. That 250K like a pop really hit me in the wrong place because that was part of the disconnect that I couldn't vibe with. You have all this money to do all these things, and you choose to risk your life
Because you don't know that you're risking your life.
But you choose to risk your life instead of helping somebody. I could easily see how any of that.
Maar that's another discussion. That's another discussion. Just because you're rich, you are obliged to help other people?
Yes.
Okay, but
I am a devout socialist, maybe even a communist, but yes. Yeah, dude. I am a social libertarian, maybe.
Oh,
if you had to put labels and fucking boxes on it or whatnot. Yo, but guys, all right, look, that would be my last point. I don't know if you want to add on like something to it before we end.
No.
No? Okay, so then fuck it. I'm empty. I think you might be too, like as well. Camera fucking gone, so we got to look into this one. You or me are gonna bring us out. We will be.
Doei. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
All right. Old man. Ja, gaat het goed?
Hi.
I think you should lay off the Annabay mango.
No, man.
It's making you do strange things.
Yeah, man. Not strange things.
It's strange.
Dude, we need strange things in life, boy. That's what Carnival is for. And by the way, I'm not the rum man. You're the rum woman, dog.
Look me sitting here behaving, not...
Yeah. Nah, man. But yeah, boys and girls, we are back. We are back. Mm-hmm. We got one more segment to fill, darling. Do you know what they want to talk about?
As we're recording this, we are coming up on Keti Koti, July 1st. And Keti Koti is literally Sranantongo, so the language of Suriname. And it means cut the chains. And it's what they celebrate or herdenk, how do you say, remember, on July 1st, which was the day that the Dutch 1 juli 1863, so 1st of July 1863, the Dutch abolished slavery in their colonies.
How kind of them?
In ieder geval in the West.
How
I
kind
think
of them? How kind
for
of them?
Indonesia, there's another date.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this year it's either 150 or 160, depending how you count. Not celebration, remembrance, or
Hard to say celebrate with that one, isn't it? But actually, it
See-
should be a fucking celebration. Fuck you, I'm free. You know, like.
nah,
No?
no.
No?
No.
All right, fine. All right, well, I'm fine. It's a somber affair. It's
Not per se somber, but I feel it's weird celebrating something that you took from me, my ancestors, which was not yours to take or to give back. Zeg
This is
maar.
how I know that you're not 100% a LGBTQ ally.
Waarom?
Because you don't sing I Will Survive. You don't sing it. You don't sing it with your full heart. You don't sing I Will Survive. you don't do it.
Why?
That's the celebration of the fact, man. That's the celebration of the fact. You know what this? Broke my heart, whatnot, I will survive. That's the whole idea.
But
At least to me.
But I survived. I'm like, yeah, that's sowieso.
No, but it's not just to say that you survived, it's to sing. It's to be fabulous with the fact you survived. You and your ancestors and everybody, you got this far. And to hell with it, and we are going to remember it. We are not going to forget the fact, but
No,
damn
I
it
get
in hell,
that.
it's a moment of celebration to me.
I get that. I get the survival. I get the pride. I get the celebrating in the persistence, the strength, the courage of my ancestors, our ancestors. Yes.
Yes.
But the fact that to me, it feels like we're saying, oh, thank you so much of giving us our freedom. What the fuck? You should not have taken our freedom in the first place. Why should I be thankful for something that you had no right of taking, that you
So
and then you you stole something and then you give it back to me? What the fuck? En dan moet ik jou gaan bedanken?
I would propose the following. So, given Denise's reservations about how the thing looks and feels, I think that we need to, all of us, get to run down and hog tie a white boy and spank him a little bit and then loose him and then let him go, just for the headache.
I mean, I did that last weekend, so that's not special.
Shout out to Doreen. Yeah. Yeah. No,
But
anyway.
seriously.
But look, but how about Jesus Christ? Look, Lord help me, like I said, this whole season has been doom and gloom, right? This whole season has been doom and gloom. And good thing, Keti Koti, and to answer your first question, I genuinely, and I'm almost ashamed of it a little bit, maybe for the virtue signaling, I don't know. But I was never made aware, truly aware, and this is being raised in a house where Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, and those guys were very much celebrated, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that this shit existed up until about a couple of years ago.
No, but that's a valid point.
I honest to God didn't know that July 1st, Emancipation Day, like in Statia's my home base. And I could remember as far back as maybe, let's call it, I want to say 2010, 11, 12, somewhere there so, where Emancipation Day was a thing. Where it became a thing where the government was involved, tourism board was involved. They did things on the road, just like how you got Koningsdag, you got this day too, like as well, and whatnot, right? I could remember that, and then in that I'm like, wait, did we always have a Emancipation? And then you get to find out, there's plays about like you guys got Tula, we got Black Harry, and like
You guys, he
about,
means Cursulinians.
right? Like Curacao got Tula, we got Black Harry, and you would hear the stories at that point. You would hear like how it was brought about and like revolt and ideas of bringing your people up and that type of thing. And for me, it was, and again, I'm very much of that ilk of like, yo, fight the power, but didn't really hear nothing about it until I was in my adult age.
Maar wait, I should,
Go ahead.
I can imagine and I know because I feel that Keti Koti, like I was explaining the origins, is Surinamese.
Right.
I think the Surinamese were much more prominent and much more busy with celebrating, like Amas. Of course, you always had people here who knew and who were remembering or celebrating. And on all the islands, you have people who at least sta eventjes stil by the date, but not Amas. And in Suriname is way before us, and us I mean the Dutch Caribbean, the islands, dan. Busy with the day, with the topic. So for them, it's a whole other thing. Maar which brings me to the point that now is also a big discussion in the Netherlands, that people from the islands, and I think Stacia vooral, were saying, why are we calling it Keti Koti? That's a Surinamese thing. We don't have any feelings towards the name. We don't identify with the name. We don't even know what it means. Pick a different name. My aunt, who is very much Surinamese, she has a big issue that now people are trying to steal the name. But I'm like...
Oh, so she sees it as a form of cultural appropriation.
To her, of course, July 1st is Keti Koti, so why now? We've been calling it Keti Koti for ever since she can remember, and now all of a sudden it has to be a different name. But to me, that speaks to the point, inderdaad, that...
But we've never called it
Exactly. And
we've called it Emancipation Day. We have called it Emancipation. And I could remember a couple of years later seeing St. Martin doing it as well. And I can't say about Sabre, nobody knows about Sabre, but fuck it. But I mean to say, but it's a tricky subject. Let's start there.
Why? No, okay, come on, bring your tricks.
It's a tricky subject. You know why? For the very fact that we're fighting about the name.
No, we're not fighting.
You and I are not fighting.
My aunt is having issues with, which I think
your aunt is having issues, and others...
totally misplaced.
You find it is misplaced?
It is misplaced
Really?
because, first of all, you need to understand Keti Koti as such is a Surinamese tradition, culture, celebration, terminology. It's Surinamese. Mm-hmm. But the day in itself and its significance go far beyond Suriname.
Okay.
The 1st of July is for all of us. So,
but wouldn't you want a recognition of, I was first. Like, I was there first.
No, because it's not about who is first. It's not about that. It's not about who is first. Because we were all...
Would you take sloppy seconds?
Nee, maar in this case,
okay, so first does matter, dog.
Nee.
First does matter, my man.
First does not matter, because what are we fighting about? What are we fighting about?
Look, you asked me a question off screen and off of this and one and so. Like, what was the worst legacy of slavery? Like, what was the worst thing that they could have done? And I gave you an answer, and I still stand by that answer. Mm-hmm. But honorable mention goes to the fact of infighting amongst ourselves is second nature at this point, right? It is second nature, and an identity of self needs to be established. And with all of that was taken and with everything that was done and one and so, when you start to rise up from the ashes that were burned from you or whatever the fuck, and you start to rise up again, you kind of want your own identity. And I can imagine that if we was on some shit before others was on some shit, I would want some recognition. You don't have to call it Keti Koti, but I need the byline. I need the.
No, I think that's just pettiness.
But what the fuck is human nature if not petty?
But I understand that you say you need that.
You gotta give the shout out at least, man. Dread, we calling it Emancipation Day, but our Surinamese brethren, they had it first. It was called Keti Koti.
No, they didn't have it first. They celebrated en masse, but it's been this way since 1863.
1863, you have
Suriname, Curaçao, Sint Maarten, Aruba,
there were
Stacia,
individuals
Sint Maarten,
that you can
Seba,
highlight
Bonaire.
within history, 1863.
When it was declared that all slaves were free, it was free for the West.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you were in Suriname or in Curaçao. Everybody heard, this day in all of the islands and country and in Suriname. It was a celebration. People went out in the street, dancing, singing, doing all kind of thing. Okay, that you not even maintained it, but reintroduced the celebratory aspect of the day. Maybe in the 1950s. I don't know. So don't pinpoint me on the history.
Yo, we are drunk.
Maakt niks uit. You can. So I'm like, okay, so let's call it Emancipation Day. Let's call it. Name a name, a more neutral name, which is not so heavily linked to a place. Niks is more linked to a place than in a language that the other islands, the other countries don't speak.
Sowieso.
Just take a more neutral name so that everybody can identify and link to it. And if you amongst yourselves want to call it Keti Koti, go right ahead. If you and your Surinamese club are gonna do a Keti Koti celebration, right ahead. Maar don't have issues that other people are saying, hey, listen, I don't identify with that name.
Okay, but then, okay, wait a minute. But hold on. But then, you and I, like, history is short enough for you and I to be able to look back and to be able to debate this fact, right? 100 years from now, 200 years from now, the thing is verwaterd to our great grandkids, whatever, right? Wouldn't it be cool for the Keti Koti name to still be there and it not be part of mass English, mass Dutch, mass whatever? Is very much a part of a sect of people, and it was like, and it begs investigation. It begs fun. Hey, what is Keti Koti? What is that language? Why is that called the way it's called? Why is that thing named the way that it's named? And you go back in history and you look back and this is this, and then you honor those in Suriname that have also brought it forward as well. And I'm not trying to be kind of facetious. I'm genuinely asking a question. You and I tend to shoot each other loaded questions. But I would think that I would, and again, I am a romantic apparently. I would think that would be dope. Like I would think that there is some ownership in that. There is some you know what I mean? Is it like the same way too, yo, Dread, you got Samantha there, you got Stacia there, but here you got Dia di Bandera. What is Dia di Bandera? What the hell is that?
I would love a Curacao Day.
You would love a Curacao
over Dia di Bandera.
Serio?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Because what is the flag? The flag is a representation of my country. My country is Curacao.
There you go.
So
let's call the thing by its thing. Let's call the thing by.
No, but I have no issues with Dia de Bandera. If you want to call it Dia de Bandera, who the fuck cares? Let's just call Dia de Bandera. I'll dress my blue and yellow.
Yeah.
But for the Keti Koti, especially, because it is a shared history, and I'm not even talking about the Dutch. Tropical part, so not the Dutch Caribbean and Suriname even included in the Caribbean part. It's also a Dutch history. Right. So I would say have a name that everybody can. I like Emancipation Day, whatever. Even just working title Emancipation Day. But if Surinamese celebrate it, it's gonna be Keti Koti. But of course, it is Emancipation Day.
So I got a question, and I would put the question, have you answer, and then we're gonna take a break, right? So I was lucky enough to live in Suriname for about 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Right? And again, anybody that has have any kind of passing understanding of of Suriname knows multicultural like a motherfucker. Like for real. Like every religion.
I want to say that Curacao is more multicultural, but okay, yeah.
Lord, there's the pettiness. There's the pettiness right here. But all right. But what I'm saying, I wonder, and I'm not even trying to start some shit. I'm not even trying to be kind of facetious about this. But I wonder if Hindustana in Suriname celebrate Keti Koti as hard as the black folk.
Of course not.
I wonder if the Chinese...
Of course not.
There's a lot of, Javanse, weet ik veel. I wonder
not.
if they bring along the lessons of freedom and understanding and mensenrechten and all that shit for themselves for that. You check what I mean? And
I think people would celebrate as in we're one people, and when you have a party, I come to your party. When I'm celebrating Diwali, you come to my party. Okay. I'm not saying that. Yeah, I'm not saying that Keti Koti and a religious feast are itself, but I'm just pointing it out as a very specific cultural thing. Right. I celebrate with you, but for me, it does not have any
How vast?
significance. It doesn't
Yeah.
have any emotional significance. It's more like, okay, we nós está comibados. We are living together. We're community. So I'll share with you. I'll share with my brother. Maar it has a whole different. For me, it doesn't really have meaning.
Right.
So I think that's the same. And I think, helaas, for European Dutch people, it is the same. They don't really have feelings while they are the center or the pivotal part in this whole celebration. It is,
Right.
even to put
No,
it black
but-
and
no,
white,
but-
it is really black and white.
Wait a minute, but this is the thing though. They're not the pivot part. Their ancestors were.
Yeah, maar okay, but
that's
for
a
us,
fuck-up fact.
for us, it's also our ancestors.
Right, but for us, we still feel the knock-on effects. They don't, and that's where
They
like,
don't feel it, but they benefit from it.
Yeah, but how, look, dude, you and I know as well as anybody else. You want to make somebody learn something, make them hurt, or you want to make somebody learn something, make them feel uncomfortable. They don't feel uncomfortable, they're not going to learn, and that's something that I've been able to compartmentalize when it comes to dealing with Dutch people, and even the best of them, even the best of our friends, even the best of our whatever. And I'm not knocking anybody on this, but I will say that there is a disconnect. There's that word again. There is a disconnect between shared experience when it comes to certain things. And when it comes to that, when somebody has not the same experience as you can do your best to try to educate them. You can do your best to try to, but it'll never be the same as them living it. And so I have patience, I have understanding, I have whatever with my Dutch brothers and sisters to look as well. And I just go forward. I do my best to try to. I'm very kumbaya today. I don't know what the fuck it is,
fuck
but
that.
the mango walking banner. No, but
Maar okay,
yeah.
so okay, I get you.
Yeah, right.
But what does that do for the responsibility? Is there even responsibility for white people in this whole celebration or debate, whatever you want to call it?
Doorsnee white people, very, very minimal. Doorsnee white people, a yantje on the street, dude, at least know why I'm angry or why I'm crying or why I'm frustrated or why I'm whatever. Know why. And
Dat is voldoende voor jou.
meet me on the battlefield armed with that knowledge. If you still want to argue the fact, but at least have a little bit of empathy towards my situation. For Doorsnee white. For those that are running shit, king, queen, prime minister, and government apparatus, yeah, you need to do your fucking research. And you need to understand that your policy determines things. I come back to that whole thing with Stacia and the tax one and so on. So at that moment in time, they could have decided, you know what, just like anybody else, just like everybody else that has a chance to, like, yo, we gaan het, you know, in termijnen betalen, weet ik veel. They came down like a ton of bricks. They thought it was bad actors. They thought it was just that people knew, but they didn't want to pay or whatever. And maybe a couple of them in between. I know a couple of them. But there was some people that genuinely, that was like blue-collar dudes that just made their bones, that was able to build up. Never had an accountant, never had a whatever. Never knew. And in not knowing, you need to be able to look at a situation and be like, you know what? This dude, if he could, he would. So let's work it out. That's policy. That is decision makers. That is lawmakers and whatnot. There's a disconnect. The reason why the Keti Koti, for me, feels a little bit disingenuous is because there still is a disconnect between us and them. There is a us and them. There's not us.
Yes.
There's not us.
Klopt.
If it was us, as cringe as it might be,
Cringe. Let me
Willem
refill.
Alexander
Let
would
me
be on
refill.
like front line with us. Yo, partner, throw up a fucking July tree, this, that, whatever, and be there with us and be like, yo, Dread, we were wrong. But instead,
but instead,
no, we got the apology. We get that. We did that last season. But the apology did prove itself to be just the apology. Yeah, there we go. That's the y'all get on that shit. Swear to God. But the apology did prove itself to be an apology and not more. In the time between then and now, I mean, now is what, like tomorrow? The homeboy's supposed to reach?
Who?
Like something that was supposed to happen with like the apology tour
Well,
for like the first of like July as well.
I didn't continue following this whole thing, maar July 1st, many people are expecting the king to also apologize. So we had an apology by the Prime Minister, by Rutte,
Right.
for the Dutch state.
Sowieso.
And now the king is going to apologize for the role of the royal family. Well, that is the expectation. He didn't want to do it earlier.
But we were talking about the king.
See, so for the July 1st, the Keti Koti, Emancipation Day, whatever you want to call it, people are expecting the king to apologize for the slavery, the slavery involvement in slavery of the royal family. So we had Rutte already in December apologizing on behalf of the state, and now probably the king is going to apologize. He didn't want to say anything before because he said he wanted to wait on the research results. I guess the research results are now back. Not I guess, I know. And it's been shown that over, I don't remember how many years, the royal family earned like $500 million, guilders with whatever of slavery. And imagine those days.
Jesus, but you know, but
Maar goed, zie.
I find just on a tangent, just on a quick tangent, I find it interesting how they always want research, and research is usually put up as a smoke screen to kind of delay action.
But you yourself were mentioning research not too long ago.
No, I believe in it. I believe in it. I believe that you need to know to the penny how culpable you are, right? Mm-hmm. But I do find it interesting that they said that they need research, and within that is like, how do you expect this to go? You know what I mean? Like how do you expect this to go any?
No, I think you just need probably confirmation in black and white that indeed your ancestors did some naughty things.
So a legal gun to your head that this is what it is and this is what. Now here comes the fun part. How much of that slavery money can you attribute to the different spots?
Yeah, it's
really interesting. More research is needed. There we go again. You know what I mean? Like it's always a way to kick the can down the road, is what I feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's and why I am reluctant to include the slave master. You are reluctant to include the slave master, former slave master, the colonizer, into the whole thing is because you stole something from me, and I have to be grateful that I got it back. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm reluctant for the mindset that allowed for that thinking in the first place. And whether or not that these people now are not their ancestors, something of that trickled down. The same way how something of the chip on our shoulder trickled down. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I would find it hard to have a conversation when, if I tell you something, a part of you is automatic to, well, wait, that sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, because the standard thing is that you know what I'm saying? I hear a lot when you talk about the past of slavery. Yeah, but Africans also had slaves. Okay,
exactly.
then the story done, huh?
But that sounds ridiculous. But
that's
it was
the same thing if I go to a cancer rally and then you say, yeah, but AIDS is also. I mean, no, we're talking about cancer. We're not talking about AIDS.
No, but
they're both sicknesses. Yes.
No, but the one that I like to do for that, all like Africans had slaves as well. Okay, so what you're telling me is that if I'm raping a girl, and you come in, and I get off, and I give you a chance to get on, and you get on, your defense is, but he was raping of us. Like,
you know how many people will play that defense?
No, but it's not. No, come on, man. That was okay. So I like to touch base on whatever that I've been in contact with for the last whatever, right? And that was one of the ones again with this conversation with Buzz that I came back to. Why does it have to be a lesson for human decency? Why does it have to be a lesson, a research, of journey for human decency? Decency is just human decency.
Human decency is not human decency. But
why not?
Your decency is not my decency, and your humanism, your humaneness is not my humaneness.
Okay,
if you think of me as lesser, unbewust.
Right, but then that's where we start, toch? That's where we start. If you claim to be humane, if you claim to be forward, if you claim to be tolerant, looking straight at the fucking camera, but if you claim to be tolerant and all that bullshit, wouldn't that have to be the basis? Oh, that's a human being. We're not talking about nothing else. That's a human being. That's a human being with feelings. That's a human being that can be hurt. That's
Yeah,
a human
but
being
nobody
that should be
is-
treated with dignity and respect. Can we not start there?
We cannot start there.
We can't start there?
Nope.
Then fuck it. Then I'm done. That's why then I'm drinking.
Okay. Wait. To round this off, are you gonna do anything special or anything out of the ordinary on July 1st?
I will tell you very plainly no, because there's nothing that I could touch to, and it's not the country's fault. It's my fault because probably there's things going on, but I'm too busy, and I'm with all of this shit. I'm too busy and with family obligations to really keep a track of the Keti Koti and Emancipation Day and all that shit. So I'm out of touch with what's going on Curacao. So for me, that would be a no. I cannot avoid the second day. The second day of July is Dia de Bandera.
Yeah.
And that my wife's family is very nationalistic, it's weird that those two are one too, by the way. But anyway, yeah, they're very kind of nationalistic and whatnot. And at the very least, my wife loves doing zones. So if there's something's going on in town or in Otra Banda or in a spot, we're going to take the family. We're going to go take my son, take my daughter. We're going to see what's going on. That's basically about it. But I will be honest, to say that I'm sitting down, kneeling, putting thought to it, putting herdenking to it, as you had so eloquently put, I will be honest, no. But at the same time, just as a defense, I don't know if you're going to take it as such, but at the same time, I take that every day. For me, it's every day that is like a Keti Koti. And that's a bit of a cop-out because a lot of people like to claim that. A lot of people like to claim that for Valentine's Day and for Mother's Day and for this and that and so on. But I do genuinely mean that. I say the shit that I want to say. I have the freedom that I have. I can do what I want. I can learn whatever the fuck I want. I can read whatever the fuck I want. I can choose to pray or not pray. All that shit. I can make money. I can make fucking money because of the sacrifices that were made in my unborn name at the time. And so for that,
my unborn name, nice.
Yeah, that was what it is. That's what it is. I ain't anybody that fought for freedom. Tula knew that he wasn't coming out of there like alive. Black Harry knew that he had to die at some point. It's not for me to enjoy, and that's how I see things too, going forward for the bigger picture of things too, as well. I want to see a gaming culture, but I'm not going to see it in my lifetime. I want to see equality amongst men and women. I'm not going to see it in my lifetime. I can lay the groundwork for my son, my daughter, their sons, their daughters, and so forth, to build upon. And so I can plant the tree, but I will never enjoy the shade. And for that, even for that ability, I am extremely fucking grateful.
No, wijze woorden.
There you go.
So.
Do you have something to add? Are you gonna do something with
No, but like you, I'm also out of tune. I don't know why, because usually in the past I was like front and center with all these celebration and emancipation things and stuff. At this point, I have no idea what's going on in Curacao. I have a birthday I have to attend to on July 1st. July 2nd, I'm sure I'm going to be in town Ava for a bit, or maybe I'll go to Bandabao. There's always some festivity last minute. I think, I go there. Oh, there is a concert on July 1st. You'll be 40. I'll be there. That's about it.
May I posit something to you? And I think you will be especially tickled by this.
Oh, Lord.
You will be especially tickled by this. I love to sing your accolades. You don't like to sing your accolades, but I love to sing your accolades. You're an anthropologist.
Oh, Lord, there I go again. Yes,
you are an anthropologist.
I am.
Correct?
I studied anthropology.
You studied anthropology. You're also a carnavalista, correct?
Yes.
Yes, you are a soca warrior, right?
Yes.
Yes. I think.
I plead the fifth.
I think ultimately seen, especially for how it is celebrated, for how it is enacted, for how people come together with no mandate whatsoever beyond we need to do this thing. I think that for what it represents, within the confines of patriarchy, theology, numarop. I think that Carnival is a better celebration of freedom than Keti Koti. I genuinely think it.
I don't know if you could speak in terms of better.
Right.
It is a different side of the same coin, maybe. And
I love the inherentness of it all. Women in a patriarchy are all the way out and in all their finery, and they enjoy their sexuality. I love it that it's a thumb in the eye towards religion. I love it for this is black people thing. The white boys gotta ask permission to come in. You know what I mean? Like no.
yeah, I don't see it as I don't see it as that. I see it as a unifying factor. So I know, but I don't see it as a black people thing. I see it as everybody is equal. So you're jamming next to a minister, to the director of the bank, to your surgeon, to the vuilnisman, to your teacher, to like anybody, like in the street, everybody's equal.
Right.
And
in the jam, everybody's equal.
And the jam is everybody's equal. So you can whine on whoever you want to whine. You can do whatever you want to do. So for me, it is freedom. And it's coming together of everybody, everyone, and everybody can be seen and everybody can be crazy. Because as you were saying, it's women exploring, exposing, displaying their sexuality, living their sexuality, as you were saying.
Yep.
It's also for gay, especially men, to be out and proud and about and seen and get the accolades.
In a safe space. In a safe space.
Because nobody's gonna people like if you're in the parade, maybe not as an audience, as a viewer. In the parade, you can do whatever you want. You can be whoever you want. The designers who for a great part are gay men, especially.
Yep.
Weet je, they're put on a pedestal and look at what they've created. People can let loose. Gewoon, let loose your creativity. Let loose your love. Let loose whatever. Let loose. And that, inderdaad, is maybe
freedom.
Ultimate freedom.
Freedom.
It's ultimate freedom, maar I have to say, because to me, that is really celebrating. That is celebrating, that is joyous, that is outside,
and that
rambunctious,
but that comes back to my whole thing. That comes back to my whole thing. You asked me about this and that. I made a joke, but you were like, yo, it gotta be more, you know.
Nee, maar dat,
bruh.
Nee, maar daarom, I want to say.
Run a flag and, yo, Dread, wind up on something, drink a rum. Fuck you.
No, but that's what drinks Annabay. But that's what I want to say. Of course, it's freedom. It's maybe freedom to the max. Because it's more equal than any other thing that we have, I feel. Right. Maar at the same time, I'm not going to say that it's better than a Keti Koti or Emancipation Day, however you want to call it. Because I also think, for me, in any case, July 1st is also a moment of remembrance. It's a moment of reflection. It's a moment that of course, every day you live with your ancestors and you think about it, blah, 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 like you say, maar nee. For me, it's really a moment that I even just think, okay, you know, this is how far we've come.
Right.
You know, my crown has been paid for. Like, even just sit with the ideas.
That's a bar, by the way. That's a fucking bar.
Even just sit with the ideas.
My crown has been paid for.
It's not mine, or so, but...
No, I'm not saying this or that, but I'm just saying like that's a bar like a motherfucker.
And...
Is that...
Hold on. Yes. Maar, so, to me, in Carnival, there is no moment for that reflection. So, I like a solemn moment to sit with my ideas and my ancestors and to be grateful and to be thankful. And Carnival is a whole different type of thanks.
So wait a minute. Okay, so then let me amen and God bless this. And by the way, that's a little bit of a pun and apropos. Within Christianity, you have two big moments. You have Christmas, you have Easter. Christmas is more joyous and more warm and more comfortable and more, you know, like however it got there. We're not going to debate... we're not gonna debate the etymology of Christmas, right? But it's family is gathering, is getting together, it's eating, is warmth, it is come together, right? Mm-hmm. Easter's more somber for the door snake Christian. For the kids, We make it interesting, but
For me, it's also I love Easter brunch. Mara, that's besides
right,
the
but
point.
no, but Easter brunch, okay, all fine and well, but Easter brunch as a symbolism for the price paid by Christ and all of that, and you need to think on that, on the sacrifice and all of that shit, right? I would then posit that to you as well, then, given what your very heartfelt play-doh, like argument towards like basically having the both of them. Carnival is for the warmth, Keti Koti is for the remembrance, and
salute to that.
there we go.
Here's to
Hey,
Keti
guys.
Koti, here's to Carnival.
Holy shit, we agreed on some shit. Lord have mercy. It must
For
be
the
the rum.
answer, oh no, I can't pour drink in the
No, you cannot.
rum liquor.
Yo, this is not the
But
place.
big up to the ancestors.
Big up to the crowns.
To the crowns and on those on whose shoulders.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
All right, everybody. Fuck, nee.
Pay the bill.
Yeah. I guess this was the show for today. We were all over the place. We're back to our old, I think, riff-raff. I don't know. Hope you'll join us next week again. We've been the Drunken Monks. My name is Denise Faber. Next to me, you cannot see him, but his voice is ever present. Marlo Brown. We've been the Drunken Monks, as Marlo likes to say. We are the
we've been
Drunken
the Drunken
Monks.
Monks.
And peace.